How do you think of full stack marketer versus T-shaped marketer? Is it the same? Is it slightly different? Are those synonymous, do you think?
I think you can go both ways. I think I have been seeing people say T-shaped more to mean experience in multiple areas and then a breadth across everything. But when I normally think of T-shaped, it's like you're really deep in one. So I think if you're talking about a deep in multiple, it can be close. But from my perspective, really to be a full stack marketer, you need a decent amount of information about most areas. And it doesn't mean you need to be an expert in all of them. It doesn't mean you could go be like the only person who is working on that area in a company. But I think you need to know enough to be able to really ask valuable questions to the people who are running that role. And you need to know enough to actually be able to spot an expert in that, which I think is kind of the really important thing when it comes to hiring. Sometimes, you're hiring for a role that you don't really understand. And as a result, you kind of get the wrong person in the door. And so I think that a lot of times the full stack part comes in there for me of like, you have to know enough to know someone who really knows stuff. Like you have to know enough to know what you don't know. And that's how you create a team that's good enough.
Yeah, yeah. And it's kind of like in each area, knowing enough to be dangerous a little bit.
Yeah.
Uh, do you think that as you get more senior in career, like that becomes tougher? Do you think that it's still important? Like, you're a director now, you're leading growth marketing. Do you feel like you still have that need to try to get it, to try to learn a little bit of everything? Like, has that changed for you or is it still the same?
Yeah, I mean, I think it gets harder when you get in leadership positions and you're doing less hands-on keyboard work because honestly, like in our industry, things move so quickly that it's easy to not know enough to be dangerous, like very fast if you're not at some level kind of connected to boots on the ground or what's actually happening day to day. And so I know I've found it at AppQs, I had more of an IC role, honestly, and led more like cross-functional teams, whereas at Typeform, I lead a team of 10. And that's a huge difference. Like, it's just a huge difference in how I spend my time day to day and how much hands-on time I have with the actual tools and stuff like that. And so what I've found is I really have to still dig in. I feel like I'm a very visual learner and like it's great if someone tells me what they're doing and I can do my best to understand it. But sometimes I really have to be like, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be picky. I'm not trying to nitpick your work. You just got to show it to me in platform. Like I just have to see it in platform because until I get like the underlying workflows of how it all works or like show me the filter logic, like show me these random things that I shouldn't care about, but I have to care about it to like actually fully understand what you're doing and what you need me to do to help you do it well, if that makes sense.
And I bet it gives you it gives your team like a lot of confidence in you because you've actually done this type of work. Like you've been in the weeds and you're not, you know, just being fluffy about what your guidance is or what your direction is. Like you've actually done this kind of stuff because you're a full stack marketer.
I hope so. I don't know how it comes across. I mean, I think that like as a manager, you're always balancing like being that nitpicky like boss that's on you about everything and also knowing enough that you like actually are helpful in the conversation and they're not just coming to you like, well, I know what they're going to say, like whatever, I'll just listen to it and then move on, right? And I've had bosses who've done both. So like I totally get it. And I think it's just always a balancing act you're making between like, how am I coming off when I'm asking this question and like asking to dig in? And does it seem like I just like found something random and now it's like this endless project that I have to go dig information up for? Or does it feel like it's actually like coming from a place of like trying to understand for better future conversations? And honestly, I don't know if I've gotten the balance right yet. I've only been there since August. We haven't done an engagement survey yet, so I can't tell you if I am managing well or not.